When people think about Genesis 19, they usually think about one moment, the destruction of Sodom. But the chapter begins with something much quieter. Verse 1 says Lot was sitting at the city gate. That detail seems small, until you remember something. Back in Genesis 13, Lot simply chose land near Sodom. Now, he's sitting at its gate. How did that happen? The Bible never tells us. It simply lets us notice the progression. Near Sodom, then in Sodom, now at the gate. And then 2 angels arrive. Wait, only 2? Genesis 18 began with 3 visitors. Where did the 3rd one go? The chapter never explains. Instead, Lot urgently begs them not to spend the night in the city. Why? What did Lot already know? Then comes one of the most uncomfortable moments in Genesis. Lot steps outside, closes the door behind him, and offers his daughters. The chapter doesn't explain his reasoning. It simply records it, leaving us to wrestle with the question ourselves. Then something surprising happens. The angels don't stop the situation immediately. They wait until the crowd is already pressing against the door. Only then do they intervene. Why wait? And then comes another detail that's easy to miss. In verse 14, Lot warns his future sons-in-law. They think he's joking. Think about that. The man who knew enough to protect the visitors can't convince his own family. Why? Then morning comes. And verse the 16th of may be one of the saddest verses in the chapter. Lot hesitates. The city is about to be destroyed. The angels have warned him. Everything is urgent. Yet he hesitates. So the angels take him by the hand. They don't simply tell him to leave. They lead him. Why? Then comes the verse almost everyone remembers. Verse 26. Lot's wife looks back. That's all we are told. No explanation. No inner thoughts. Just one action. One sentence. One consequence. But here's something I never noticed before. The chapter doesn't end there. It keeps going. Lot asks to live in Zoar instead of the mountains. Then later, he becomes afraid to stay in Zoar, the very place he insisted on. Why? And finally, the story ends in a cave. Not with Abraham. Not with Sodom. With Lot and his daughters. The chapter begins with Lot sitting confidently at the gate of a city. It ends with him hiding in a cave. That's an incredible contrast. So maybe the biggest question isn't, why was Sodom destroyed? Maybe it's this. How did Lot's story move so gradually? From choosing a place, to becoming deeply rooted in it, to leaving it with almost nothing? What do you think?